Ooh.
After 4 days of hard riding, we had finally made it to Portugal. And if you have ever done a 2,200 kilometre trip over 4 days, you'll know just how we were feeling in this moment. We could finally relax. We had nowhere that we needed to be. Exploring Portugal was surreal, and without fail, at every beach there was a line of impressive motorbikes, well cared for and very shiny. To be honest, it took a few days for the adrenaline of the trip to finally leave my body. But once we were both rested, it was time to explore Portugal. We decided to try and find Sintra National Park, since both our friends and our hostel guide had recommended it on the bikes. I really enjoyed navigating the narrow streets, and every turn seemed to present a new challenge for me as a new rider. On the way to find the park, we made a slight navigational error. The road got a little narrower, and eventually, it stopped being a road altogether.
Oh. I don't know if this is the road. Is it?
Oh, yeah, it's the road.
At this point, it felt like there was no turning back. The road was narrow, we just had to keep going. On Ed's bike, he was sporting road tyres, and on my Himalayan, I had 50-50 road and off-road tyres.
Oh my god.
It's alright, just go slowly.
I've never had off-road training, so I was going completely by my instincts here. I didn't touch the front brake, and I only used the rear brake when I needed to. I have never felt so nervous in my life. My heart was in my mouth, but I just had to keep going.
Yeah, is this even a real road?
I don't know. Just follow my line.
This was the hardest part of the road to navigate, and I think I took it a bit too fast. But by the time we made it to the bottom of the hill, we were both absolutely ecstatic.
I don't wanna break and just... Hey, look. Wow. Well done you. Well done you.
With our accidental off-road adventure behind us, we continued on to Sintra National Park, and it wasn't long before the road opened up in front of us. The trees grew thicker, and the mountains appeared on the horizon. After riding through the twists and turns of the road, we finally reached our destination, a beautiful lookout spot perched up high on the cliffs.
This is Sintra National Park. We have just ridden through some of the most beautiful roads that I've ever seen. and this is the view. It's by the sea and it is absolutely stunning. You can see the ocean just over the cliffs.
But some journeys aren't meant to last forever, and soon our time in Portugal came to a close. Our first stop on the way home was a coastal town called Porto. Porto is the second largest city in Portugal and well known for its medieval architecture and its famous train station with over 20,000 blue and white tiles. We stayed in this cosy hostel and had a rather warm welcoming from the locals. Our next day's travel from Porto to Ribadumia would take us through some beautiful coastal towns. However, once we left the coast behind, our route became a little less conventional. Our route became a glimpse into rural life in Spain. We rode past farms and farmhouses, until eventually the road became so narrow and steep with tight turns that I was questioning whether I'd make it up to the top at all.
My poor bike is really... Thank you.
And then finally, after what seemed like hours of navigating country roads, we finally made it to the dual carriageway. We found ourselves a cold pint and a hotel for the night, and before long, we were sleeping like babies. As we worked our way through northern Spain, we once again hit the Cantabrian Mountains. We rode through a little gem of a coastal town called Navia and decided to explore a little further. The thought of returning to normal life had started to sink in, but little did we know that the road had one more surprise in store for us. We were passing through a historic fishing village. Eager to stay here a little longer, we disembarked and found a place where we could soak in the views.
So we are almost back to Santander to get the ferry back to England. Today we rode through a lot of the Cantabrian Mountains in northern Spain, which is some of the most beautiful scenery that I've ever seen. I honestly did not want that ride to end. It was just breathtaking and I would so do it again. And I don't want to go back home, in all honesty. I think as soon as I get back to England, I will be planning my next trip. This bike has been more than I expected. It's been an absolute powerhouse. It has given me so much more trust in not only myself, but also in the bike itself. It's so capable. So tomorrow we will take it easy. It's only an hour to ride to Santander, and then it's the ferry home. So, fun story. When we arrived at this hotel, we parked near some bikes, which you can see behind me, which are a group of 4 Swedish men, and they are all 60 plus years old, and they are off on their jollies doing off-roading. They have been out in the sticks for 6+ hours a day, just going through woodlands and enjoying their time. We have just had dinner with them and a drink in the hotel that we're staying at, and it's just such a lovely way to end the journey, and it's the little things like that that just make me really happy.
And then, just as quickly as it started, the riding was over. After more than 4,000 kilometers on the road, we were finally headed home. But as we crossed the channel, we were given one last surprise. After everything we'd seen on this trip, it felt strangely fitting that the journey home ended by looking up at something we'd never seen before. A complete solar eclipse in the middle of the ocean. The truth is, I took this trip to show myself that life is worth living. We become so used to the mundane of life that we forget that adventure and excitement can start any time we choose. So as my favourite quote goes, on the other side of fear is greatness.